Hey everybody, Brett from AstartesGaming here, back with another episode of our RimWorld Warhammer 40k Let's Play. So, our caravan is back with all of our prisoners, as you can see. Many of them are currently lying in bed in the prison. Most of them are, for the most part, healed, including Sira here. But Dorna and Lax still are a bit beat up. Luckily, they've all recovered from their infections, so that's no longer an issue. Just a matter of the residual bumps and bruises kind of going away. We've also got a new name for Raywolfen. She is now Reyna. Don't forget to keep submitting names with the tag in the comments. The tag, of course, being hashtag Warhammer 40k name, all one word. And yeah, so I've got just about everybody queued up for some sort of project. There are a few prisoners that we're not going to bother even trying to recruit. We're just going to keep them working. I was unsure initially what to do with Dorna, but I think I'm going to recruit her, despite her being a greedy pyromaniac. She's pretty decent in combat. We could actually make her a pretty useful character. It's just that we would need to keep an eye on her traits. So we'll give her a test run. If she becomes a problem, we'll kick her to the curb. If not, then we have another helpful guardsman or guardswoman on our hands. Sira is actually, I think I had talked about maybe recruiting her before. I think she's going to remain a prisoner. Right now I just have her working. We're not actively trying to recruit her because her crafting skill is her main asset. She's not super great for anything else except for potentially research with a bit of practice. So I figure I'm just going to throw her in the prison. She'll take over the component crafting duty. I have to have one of our own colonists doing it right now because none of our prisoners have a high enough crafting skill. So boom, she's the one to take over those duties, and that will be very useful for us. And I think I decided that Black over here is also going to remain a prisoner forever. We're just going to have her mining, and that's it, because honestly that's all she's really good at. Now that might change down the line, but for right now she is going to be a prisoner and only a prisoner. So those particular characters that I decide are not going to be recruited, I'm going to try to get them into these light blue uniforms that we've got kind of lying around here from the various spacers that we've rescued, just so that we can have like a distinct look for all of our prisoners and make tracking them easier. And then the other people that are going to be recruited, they don't matter as much because we'll get them proper clothing once they join us. So I don't need to give them like a uniform. Alright, and everybody's getting to work. It's actually getting very busy up here. And you can notice that I have added in the coolers here. This is an open space. It is unroofed right there, but the rest is considered indoors. So the prison has its own cooling system now. It's completely independent of the rest of the base. So if there is a prison riot, I can actually shut these down and potentially just cook everybody off in there. Oh, Zorana and Remy are apparently going to get married, and they just returned. So he must have sprung the question right when they got back. By the way, the reason I'm tearing down these chain link fences is because they are bugged and I can't build any sort of floor underneath them. So I have to tear the fences down, build the floors, and then rebuild them, which is unfortunately a small waste of steel, but we'll live with that just so that we can actually get the floors in. And there's our light. We're going to do a bit more lighting inside. I'll probably do the smaller ones along the wall or something, but I figured one big one in the shooting area would be helpful. God, we have so many people mining now. We also need to use our psychic emanator, don't we? Where do I want to put it? Huh. I could just drop it in the corner like here. That's going to really heavily favor the people sleeping in that area, though. But I guess everybody has to come through here to eat, don't they? So it does make sense to have it in here. I can move it up there. But I don't really care about my prisoners so much. Yeah, we'll drop it in right there for now. Or actually, scratch that. Let's put it here. Because everybody's going to come and go through this main area, so that means they'll pass through it now and then, and when they sit down to eat, they'll get a pretty heavy dose of it, which should help us. Everybody should be a little bit happier for having done that. Oh, and the dog's going to do it for us. Great. Good on him. Good on him. Gorilla, how are your withdrawals coming. 70% here, 32 there. So he's still got a ways to go. That might be a while. That might be a while. Let's see, we have pemmican getting dropped off here. Where's that pemmican coming from? Are they actively making that? Murgo, what are you doing? No, don't do that. Do not waste my pemmican on those damn prisoners. Feed them simple meals, feed them really anything, just don't feed them that. I should probably make sure that nobody else is dumping it around. I don't know where they're getting it. Unless, is somebody unloading the vehicle? No, there's just silver there. Okay, well, that's all forbidden now. Yeah, I don't know where she got that. Maybe they just crafted some. That is entirely possible. Why aren't you getting power? There we go. Okay, so let's see. She just walked through it. You know what? No, we'll wait until someone's actually standing in there. I'm sure it works. I'm not that concerned about it. Just kind of curious. We need to get these guys out. That is not going to be a pleasant experience for anybody. Did I set this up? Let's see. So, human corpses, animal corpses, anything rotten is allowed. And this is set to normal. This stockpile here, rotten is not allowed, but animal corpses are. So those should get hauled, because nothing rotten is allowed here. These are already rotten. Huh, well, we'll see. Maybe they just haven't gotten around to it yet. They're kind of behind on a lot of things. We actually have a lot of building materials kind of piling up here. In fact, one thing I wanted to do was I wanted to pause that and get some granite blocks getting produced, because we could really use granite blocks at the moment. I'm going to do that down here as well, because we have a lot of floors that need to get put in and no material for it at the moment. And there's plenty of granite blocks on the map. There's actually a lot of granite everywhere. Why did you select that of all things? Well, set it for hauling, but this should all be granite here. There's also a bunch of granite on this side. So hopefully they'll start moving it. I'm pretty sure this was set up to allow granite, but let's ensure. No, it wasn't. Okay, we'll allow granite then. They'll load that up with granite. Somebody will start cutting it. Let's make sure that our roof area is looking good. Yeah, it looks like everything's covered. We'll expand that a bit. And then we'll continue the mining of this area. I've got to figure out where I want to put the doors in, but for now, this will be fine, just getting it cleared. And go ahead and start mining this out. Go ahead and start mining that out. And that'll be another project for them, as they can start dropping in blocks here. I don't think that was right. I think it should be like this. That should be empty. And do we need doors on the outside? No, I think I'll have the doors. Huh. It looks like they're going to be 7 by 5, so we'll just have a door here and a door here. Because these might end up being bedrooms, depending on a lot of factors, actually. We do have more potential bedrooms down here, so I don't want to rush to make those into bedrooms until I'm absolutely sure I need them to be. Because obviously, you know, we don't want to waste a bunch of rooms that we could put to better use if we have other potential bedrooms elsewhere. So another project we should probably do. Let's pause quickly here, and we're gonna get the planning tool out real quick. So we want to mirror these like so. That's gonna be a bedroom. Make the little doorway there, and then we'll do another 5 by 5 right there, and finally another 5 by 5 right here. So that's actually going to need to be extended to at least there, if not a bit further. We're going to need the outer wall to go to at least that distance. So that creates a bit of an issue for us, because we did want more rooms over here. We were going to have the same gap right there, wall, and then bedroom, like so. But yeah, the problem here is that we're going to need to push this out artificially, and I don't like that because I wanted to take advantage of the natural walls created by this mountain, and obviously if I have to expand them artificially, we can't do that. So that is going to be a lot more building material required of us, but I think it'll be worth it. The alternative is that we just cut this side short 2 bedrooms, but I am always one for symmetry, and it's not like we're losing useful ground out here. I mean, we lose a little bit of our tree area there, but that's not a big deal. So I think it'll be fine. We'll just go right here and build this double thick all the way across. My only concern then is, like, if we get attacked out here or something, potentially, you know, these bedrooms are at risk, but I don't think that'll be an issue. None of these factions that we fight against have sappers, so they have to target our doors. They can't really just go through our walls. So, yeah, I think, you know, forcing them and directing them into these areas will work just fine. Eventually, as I've said before, we are going to seal this off completely, because I don't want that to be a potential entrance. I want everything coming and going from these more defended positions, and obviously the front as well. But that will take a lot of work. Are you still full of anything? Pemmican and chem fuel. You know what? That's fine. That's stuff that we take with us all the time anyway, so we'll just leave it in there. Save us a bit of time and effort next time we have to ship out. Now, let's go ahead and lay the concrete down in here. Oh, it's already on that one. Okay. We'll do it there as well. As soon as that is finished, we'll throw down the fences over it. And then this room will be more or less complete. As I said before, I'll have, you know, other minor things in here, like some more lights, tables and chairs, maybe a mini fridge, but for the most part, that's that room complete. And then this one is going to be the melee training facility, which should be a little bit more spacious, just because we're not, I think I addressed this last time, we're not held to the same spacing restrictions based on the targets. We can fit a lot more of them in there. Not seeing a whole lot of production happening here, but we have gotten a good number of, oh wow, yeah. We've been cranking through these components. Having the steel right here makes it go a lot more quickly, which is nice. Oh, we got a bit of silver there as well. So yeah, this prison setup is actually working pretty well for us. They're not cutting stone as quickly as I would like. I'm probably going to set this to critical just to make sure it gets there. Maybe the dogs will get on that for us. But I want somebody cutting stone for us at all times, because we really need granite. Obviously, the main part of the base is all floored, but everything to the north of like this point and this point is lacking floors still. And then obviously we haven't even touched this outer hallway yet. We're going to need to do all of this area here, so there's still a lot of granite flooring that needs to be done. Oh, and all this too. I've queued this up, but nobody's ever gotten around to it. Why, oh why, would that not be there? Okay, and somebody started that but didn't have enough to finish it. Whatever. They'll get to it eventually. We just need the blocks to get delivered. Another thing I was thinking about with Yaris is, depending on what role he ends up filling for us, I may actually try to capture him, turn him into a prisoner, and just put him to work in the prison, because he doesn't serve a whole lot of purposes for us as an actual character. So he would almost be not worthwhile, of more use to me as a prisoner. But that isn't something I necessarily have to do. Okay, so let's put these back in now that our floor is done. And again, that's just to prevent anybody from kind of wandering in there by accident while people are doing their target practice. It's still accessible via the gate here, so they can get back in there when they need to, and they will. I think we saw this a little bit last episode, but as they start using it, it does damage the walls and the floors. So maintenance will be required in there. Oh good, the dogs are finally getting some stone shipped on over, so we should see maybe Inga or someone start cutting those blocks. One can hope. And I don't remember who it was, but I did have a prisoner set to basically just focus on cleaning. Okay, good. So Inga is going ahead and cutting those. Tigress, were you the one? She might be... No, she's just not capable of doing anything as a prisoner. Capable of doing quite a lot as a fighter, though. It may have been... I don't think it was Syrah. No, she's the one I wanted doing this. I think as soon as Azrin's finished with that component, we'll tell her to take a break. But yeah, there's a prisoner that's not good at much. At least in regards to what they're limited to here, so... In terms of that, I've just had them set to clean all the time. Did you even... There you go. I guess she cut some. I would really rather not have any blocks here. So manufactured. Is that under manufactured? That's probably under raw resources, actually. Yeah, stone blocks. No stone blocks, please. Because they won't get used if they sit there. They'll only get used if they get shipped on over here. I mean, they will. They will get used there. It's just going to be less efficient. So, obviously, we want them somewhere where they'll actually get taken advantage of. Okay, and you're cleaning that up. I debated putting a fancier floor in here, but the lack of... Why would you just ignore this? Okay, well, I can't tell her to do that. Anyways, the lack of granite blocks available kind of deterred me from that. Because I was going to just continue our floors into here, but I figured the shooting range, they can have a little bit rougher floor, just, you know, because decoration isn't as big a deal in here. Prisoners aren't working. Dorna. She's just eating. I think she was the one I set to just clean. It looks like Speed, he's beating her to most of it, though. Which is kind of annoying. Okay, perfect. So they're finally starting to throw those down. We've got some more limestone opening up over here that we'll definitely use. But we have enough limestone blocks right now, so I'm not too worried about those. Construction's been queued up over there. I should probably go ahead and tell them to mine this whole room out. Now that I have the walls vaguely defined. But Clinton is really my only miner, other than the prisoners working away over here. But in terms of actual, you know, progress in mining out rooms, he's the only one really doing it. But that's fine. He's pretty effective at it. Oh no, I didn't catch her. Whoops. Oh well. I thought I told her not to... Okay. No, this is fine, actually. That works for me, because she'll prioritize granite blocks, but if anything else is available to her, she'll go ahead and make it. So she will still process limestone. She's just going to favor granite, and she should be getting like a fairly equal number of both in here. Actually, probably more granite, because there's more granite chunks on the map right now. Definitely more granite chunks marked for hauling. So given that we have more of those available, she should see more in here, so she should end up doing more granite than limestone, which is what we want. But if she's still making limestone occasionally, especially if there's no granite available, that's totally okay. There's no real reason not to do that. Speaking of which, why is there nobody making this armor? Remy, what are you currently doing? You're building floors, okay. Well, I would prefer if you were crafting something. What does your current work schedule look like, or your priorities? Remy. Construction. Oh wait, I keep forgetting to get rid of this. I'll set that to 4. Yeah, I didn't mean for that to stay there. That was because we were desperately trying to grab some plants before our power went out. So, Remy, construction is 3, smithing is 1, tailoring is 2, and crafting is 2. So he should be prioritizing all of those over construction, which means that there's something withholding him from doing this. What do we need? Ceramite, refined ceramite, and Imperial components. We have Imperial components. We have refined ceramite. I think that's enough. 16? Yeah, we only need 4, so that's enough for 4 of them. I think the regular ceramite is the holdup right now. So what I need to do is queue up the mining of some more. Luckily, there's plenty on the map. So we'll get all of that going. We can do this as well. It's going to take us a while because that stuff does have a ton of HP. It's like 8,000, which compared to steel is like more than 4 times. Actually, is it more than 5? Yeah. So it takes more than 5 times as long to mine that as it does steel, but we need it. So I'm actually going to need some more miners outside the prison, I think. So mining just became a whole lot more important for us. Which means that Black might find herself more useful than initially expected. So I'm going to actually set her to work and recruit, and we'll see how that goes. 96%, so the chances of that making a big difference right now is slim. But there is a chance, and if she joins us, then we'll get her working outside the prison on some of those mining projects. Because again, Clinton's really the only one that's going to touch that. And he's got a lot of mining happening over here. So we may not see that happen for a while, which means we're not going to be manufacturing anything. By the way, speaking of things to manufacture, we finished research for the Exodus sniper rifle, so we are capable of producing those now. We don't have the... Actually, we might have the resources. Either way, our research is currently doing brain surgery, and we might do advanced bionics from there. But I figured this would be nice in case we had, you know, a serious brain injury that needed to be dealt with. From there, we'll probably focus some more on the 40k stuff. I'm not sure what, but we'll take a look at some of this. There is a lot available still. Quite a lot, actually. Let's take a look into the weapon fabricator. So, there it is, the Exodus sniper rifle. 8 Imperial components, 10 refined adamantium, and 3 Imperial power cores. So we know we have the components. I think we're a bit short on the refined adamantium. We have some, we just don't have enough. And we only have 1 power core at the moment. So if we want to make one of those, I'd have to actually boost production here. Because I've got it set so that they only make them when I have 1. So I'm actually going to set that to 3. And we'll see if somebody gets on that. It may require stuff that we don't have, so it's possible it gets put off for a little bit. But that's okay, just so long as I don't forget. And how are our floors coming? I wish they would have done these. But we actually had walls there. That was where the other airlock door was before it got taken out. In theory, we could remove this as well, because this is all an interior space now. And I could remove that too. And in fact, since this is open now, I guess I may as well, because it's all the same space, yeah. So let's hold that open. We'll mark it for deconstruction, but at least that way it won't slow people down in the meantime. And we'll queue those up to be deconstructed as with that. And eventually we'll get this mined out. I'm not going to worry about it right now though, because this is just sort of a secondary walkway. It's not, you know, designed to be the primary one. Okay, more floors going down. At least they're getting on it pretty quick. Although, again, we don't have a lot of construction projects. I suppose I could get this walled off. Still a lot to do over here. Not a lot of mining, though. There will be some mining, definitely, but a lot of the space is already open. We just need to define it and enclose it. And I'm pretty sure it's all roofed off, if I am not mistaken. Yeah, I can't build any roof there or there yet, but it'll happen. Let's actually make sure that this all gets roofed off as well. And then as we build these walls out, we can extend it. Ignore that. But yeah, this whole area is now enclosed. Well, not enclosed, but it is covered. So that when we, you know, finish the walls and the doors and everything, it will be enclosed. Let's see, Clayton. I want to go through and make sure our prisoners are all... You're being recruited. Yaris, you're one of us. Sira, you're just being forced to work. I decided, yeah, I wanted to leave you as a prisoner. She's cutting stone for me now. Azrin, as soon as you finish that, I need to stop you. Because I keep forgetting to. And again, I want Sira doing that. Because she's the only prisoner that can. But I definitely don't need Azrin doing it. Zima just made us another power core. Oh, I almost missed it. Okay, so prisoners only. And I don't know why. I have that set to 5 or above, but they have to be... Oh, they only have to be 8. Okay, well, we'll say 8 or above. Even though it doesn't make any difference at this point. And as soon as you finish cutting that, you should come over here and start working on these. And I'll make sure that she does so that Inga can do this, because Inga's not quite good enough to make components. I can't draft them though. Ah, great, a heat wave. Luckily, we've got most of our cooling stuff under control. I'm going to slowly add more as well. I'm not sure where I'm going to do it. But any sort of like dead ends we have, I might try to sneak some more of this type of thing in there. Let's make sure this is all roofed off as well. It's probably covered by the mountain, but just in case it's not, I like to do that. And I don't think this needs to be marked. Good enough. Alright. So, for example, we could probably sneak one in the corner there, too. We could maybe squeeze one in there. We could try to add them in, like, these spaces, too. I'm not sure where I want to do it yet, but we'll figure something out. We're just going to maximize the amount of coolers we have. We obviously have another cooling hub already set up when we connect these. But that's a whole other thing. And you know what? No, it's fine. I was going to say we can maybe have her make a 4th power core, but I'll just set it back to 1, and that way when we make the rifle, we'll just get 1 again, because I don't think anything else requires more than that. And there's certain special cases in which case we can do what we did here. Alright, so I've discovered a bit of an issue with the firing range, and that is that they will come in here and repair while somebody's actively firing at the range. So I'm not sure how I want to handle that, but Azrin did just get hit, as you guys saw there. Luckily it wasn't anything too serious, but that is something we will have to deal with, so that's kind of annoying. But I can't just gate it off entirely, because this stuff does need to get repaired. It'll eventually be destroyed if we don't, so that's kind of a weird issue that we have to deal with. I'd like to build more of these. We're a bit low on medicine still, though. I don't know if we've ever seen... Ah, right, I keep forgetting. I'm not growing any neutromine in here. It's happening outside. So... it's taking an awfully long time, isn't it? The heat wave certainly isn't helping, but we need some neutromine so that we can start producing our own medicine, so that we can start making more of those beds, because that will be very, very helpful. But speaking of, there are people that have various minor wounds that I'd like to repair. I'm not even seeing the option here. Or did I forget to add it to this playthrough? We definitely have it in the Star Wars one, and I was considering adding it here. But yeah, it doesn't look like I have. So that is something I will add. It's like EPOE or something. No, that's extended prosthetics, my bad. I don't remember what it's called. It's just like a surgery mod that lets you repair minor injuries, minor permanent injuries, and scars with a bit of medicine and surgery. So it's very useful, but you know, it is risky. There's the same risks as regular surgery to replace things, but at the same time, it's, you know, a better alternative to just giving somebody a bionic because they have like a 29 out of 30 shoulder or something dumb like that. Are you finished here? You appear to be, so we'll make sure that gets deconstructed. This is going to need to be cleared out slightly, so let's actually go to delete zone. And just to ensure that they don't continue planting here, we'll do that. But these, you know, can still grow and get cut down. I thought I had queued up the placement of tilled soil here, but apparently I hadn't. We can only place it up to the line, though. So we can do that much. Somebody will get over there to do it. And obviously there's no point in doing this stuff here if we're not going to plant on it. But they'll till that soil at least, and those trees will grow a little bit faster. So that'll be nice. Oh, there is a bit of water there. So before that gets completely destroyed, let's build a copy of it. I'm not seeing any water over there, but there could potentially be some here. So I'm actually going to place this right there. And as it expands, it may... You know what? No, that's dumb. We'll just drop it right here, and that'll deal with it more quickly. Okay, and you are doing what exactly? You're cutting them down. Fair enough, they'll give us a bit of wood to use right now. Let's get that hauled. Let's make sure that this is still roofed off. It looks like it is. And item stash opportunity. Orbital power beam targeter. Huh. I think we've seen something like this before that we passed on. We have 10 days. Let's see where it is. That's not too bad. That's pretty much the same distance as the last one. We can almost be assured that there's going to be someone guarding it, though, so that is something to consider. But yeah, it's still less than a day. We'll probably be even faster than that in the Chimera. So that is definitely something to consider. I still want to go after this outpost, but we keep getting opportunities for like really rare things, so I keep getting sidetracked. But I'd like to deal another blow to the Dark Bangers and get some silver out of the deal. I don't really care about that Browning machine gun. It would be nice, but we don't need it. But that's, again, dealing with the Dark Bangers. I think their actual base is this one. Yeah. I don't want to destroy them outright because they're a good source of prisoners and recruits for us. There's not a whole lot of regular humans on the map. And so if we wipe them out entirely, well then, you know, my recruiting pool just dropped. I'm going to drop in a block there. And I think what I'll do is make this an opening and make that a cooler. So again, I can fit a few more of those in there. Might do something similar down there. I feel like I could better optimize this space though, but we'll see. It's not super important that it is. And then this was going to be our garage where we'll have this APC, and we'll probably do a second one. Especially as the colony gets bigger, we could send out multiple groups at once. Although that is a logistical nightmare in the making. It is, you know, potentially a way for us to spread our influence over the map a little bit more quickly and effectively. But yeah, we'll have like 2 APCs in here, and again, the real reason I wanted to do this, one, for roleplay reasons, it just makes sense, and it looks kind of cool, but 2, that way when the APC returns, you know, it's always got a bunch of stuff loaded up into it. Rather than having to leave it in the APC, they actually will come and get it, because this was full of pemmican and chem fuel earlier, and they actually came and got it and then hauled it back to where it belonged, which is kind of nice. So the chem fuel's all there. I don't know if all the pemmican made it. There's a lot of it over here now. I forbade what I could find, but it is very likely that some of it got eaten. Anyway, rather than doing that, I can just drive them in here after a caravan trip and then unload everything onto the floor. Because it's roofed off and indoors, it won't deteriorate unless it's, you know, like fresh food or something. So it just makes more sense that way. And we can maybe put like some repair facilities or something in here as well. Maybe move the, I'd have to actually rebuild it, but it's not that expensive. Yeah, it's just a bit of steel and components. So we could rebuild the vehicle table in there or something. Alright, so Halleck is finally getting around to treating Azrin from her accidental firing range injuries. I'm still not sure what to do about that. If you guys have any ideas as to how we might avoid those sorts of injuries, feel free to let me know. But again, I can't just forbid this area entirely because I do need this stuff to get patched up. You can see the walls are already taking damage. The floors get damaged as well, but that's less of a concern. But the fact that the walls are shot up is a problem. And so people will need to come and go to do that. So I'm not too sure how we can avoid it. It would be nice if they would repair from the opposite side, but I don't think there's any way to get them to do that. So for example, they come in and repair something from here. I guess what I can do is I'm going to forbid this and see if maybe their pathfinding will sort of get them to do it. Maybe, I don't know, because technically they're accessing the same wall, so one would think. And then maybe I'll shut down this area every once in a while just to let somebody go in there and patch the floors up. And it looks like, yeah, so that is working. Okay, cool. So yeah, I'll just forbid this, and then when there's nobody actively shooting, I'll send someone in there to do the floors every now and then. Again, the floors aren't that big a deal, so I won't worry about them as much. And these guys shouldn't ever get damaged. Although I've been told they can potentially be damaged with some of the 40k weapons. I've also been told that the plasma rifles will go through a lot of these walls, so we got to be careful about that. Got to be very careful about that. Anyways, I think we're gonna go ahead and end the episode here. So thank you guys very much for watching. If you have any suggestions for the ever-growing base, let me know. There's a lot of these rooms here that we're gonna need to fill. I didn't intend for any of them to be storage, but I think what we're going to do now is probably turn a few of them into strictly storage rooms. We may even completely overhaul some of them into refrigerated rooms, but I haven't decided on that yet. But there is going to be 4 more on top of the 4 that we already have, and obviously these aren't being fully utilized for production facilities, nor is this one really. So we still have a lot of room that we can utilize, and then obviously there's more space down here that we're going to use. This is going to be some sort of temple to the Emperor, or shrine to the Emperor, and then I was going to expand into this to some degree, and over here as well. Although I was thinking any Space Marine stuff I add was going to be exclusively over here. So this could be like the Space Marine Annex or something when that becomes a thing for us. Anyways, again, thank you so much for watching. I had a great time playing some RimWorld with you, and I look forward to seeing you guys back here for the next episode.